is Mike. In this tutorial I'm going to show you how to use some native PowerShell functionality like verbose and things like that, and parameters. That way you're not using read hosts, which I think is really bad practice, specifically with trying to use pipelines and automation and things like that. So here we go. This example is very simple. It's basically uses math, so addition, subtraction, multiplication, division. So in that case, when you run it, 5, 5, and then what you want to do, add. And then you get add 5 plus 5, 10. The way that's better in my opinion is 5, 5, action, and then you can cycle through them. We'll just do add. You get the output, and then let's say you want to do verbose, you can kind of then see 5 plus 5, 10. So to kind of get into that state, let's look at the before state. You see read host, action, some if statements. You know, if you don't pick anything, then it's not really going to run. So here's the after, and we'll split this out, but here's the parameter area. This gets you, the command line binding gets you the verbose capability. So when you run the new way, you get verbose. There's some other ones you get too, is like what if, confirm, but we're just concentrating on verbose in this one. Here's the parameters. You can declare a mandatory, so the integer is required. What this does is when you run this script, let's say you did integer 2, 5, action, add. You forgot to do the first one, so it prompts. Integer 2 is the same as integer 1. And then we have the action, and this is where you have it mandatory as well, but then you have a validation set, so it's expecting one of these 4. And then this verbose option, I haven't found a better way to do this, but when you type verbose here and hit enter, you capture the state that it's true here, and then you have verbose option that enables you to then capture that state and then run verbose or not. So if I didn't run verbose here, if I didn't run verbose, then this won't do verbose. But if I do run verbose, I get the verbose as opposed to not running it. It just runs and outputs 10. So let's start with this piece. So that's the parameter piece. Next is the function. So we got new math problem to solve for. We have the command line bindings again. These basically mirror what we have up here. You don't really have to do the same filtering on making mandatory and everything, because you're kind of capturing it at the top, so it's kind of like double work. So let's get that in there. And here's a switch statement. So instead of doing a bunch of if else, you can use a switch, which then takes whatever action you have here and passes it to here from this parameter. And then you have the various scenarios. So you have subtract, multiply, divide, and default. So you can also have add, but then just kind of want to show what default does. So it'll default to add, since the action equals add and it doesn't fit in any of these, it'll default to add. And then you have integer 1 plus integer 2. So then when you run these functions, you always want to output what you want, and then once you call that, then you'll get the output. So we'll go switch. Probably added an extra closing bracket. And then when you have it in this state, if you run it, you're not going to get anything for output aside for maybe verbose. No, not even that. Because the reason why is you have to call the function. So now add that. You get the same results as before. And then if you don't do verbose, you just get the output. So again, here's the big key takeaways is using parameters and making them required or not. In this case, we wanted these all to be required because we want to get an expected result based on what we say. So these are commandlet bindings that allow what if, verbose, and things like that. But here we're concentrating on verbose. The parameters themselves, this captures the verbose state. So if you have the flag for dash verbose, it'll capture that, and then you can pass it on to any of the verboses that you have here, and that enables you to see it or not see it. And then at the end, call in the function. That's it. Thank you for watching. Thanks. Bye.